What city did this take place in?
This is in Mesa, Arizona. At the same time, we have a detective going to the hospital who's going to interview Timothy. And the idea here is to try to figure out what the hell is going on, Timothy. So Timothy explains he's a forklift operator at a warehouse, but he works graveyard shifts. It's a shipping warehouse. So trucks are loaded up at night. He loads the trucks. And there's times that he's busy, and then there's times that things slow down. Okay. So Timothy has kind of started a little side hobby when it's slow at work, doing graveyards.
On his phone?
On his phone, where he's checking out these chat rooms associated with different dating sites.
What year was this in?
Oh, this is probably circa 2005, 2006.
Okay.
And he'll find these chat rooms, and they're kind of sex hookup websites.
He's on dating, adult websites.
Yeah, I would say dating sites, but it is dating for the purpose of hooking up.
Okay.
And there's chat rooms, and he's going into these chat rooms, and he's just chatting with other women while he's at work when it's slow. He's never met any of these women. It's just something he's doing at work. Well, he starts chatting with who we now know as Sophie. He didn't know who it was at the time. Sophie seems to really be into him in this chat room, and as this conversation grows, Sophie invites him over one morning. And he's getting off work around 4:30 in the morning, which is really early. She's motivated. And he says, hey, I can be there around 5. So he leaves work and he drives over to Sophie's house. He hasn't seen her yet. He doesn't know what she looks like. It's just all chat room, right? So he knocks on the door. Sophie answers it. She's wearing this little negligee. And he's thinking, oh my God, she's beautiful.
He's just taken aback.
How does this happen?
Alas.
How do I drive a forklift at work, start chatting, and on my way home stop, and like this is what I get?
Right.
And he's just beside himself.
Okay.
And Sophie's not into chit-chat. Takes him by the hand, leads him right to her bedroom, where she gets down to business. She wants to have sex with him, and he's going to oblige.
Okay.
So he takes his clothes off, except for his socks, sits down on the bed, and Sophie immediately starts to perform oral sex on him. Okay. And he just lays back and closes his eyes thinking he's the luckiest boy in America right now, and things could not get any better.
Okay.
So to his surprise, when all of a sudden she stops and he opens his eyes, and she is now coming at him with an 8-inch knife, like a big knife.
So he's on his back on the bed. Where did she pull the knife from, under the pillow or something?
So his legs, the way he recounts, his legs are hanging off the bed. She's on her knees between his legs, on the floor.
Oh.
Performing oral sex on him.
So she can hide whatever she's going to pull up.
Probably under the bed or something. And then she stops, at which point he's thinking, well, great, what are we going to do now? And he looks up, and all he sees is her with this 8-inch knife, and she's already swinging for the fences. And stabs him right here. Like, she was clearly going for
So was he sitting up then?
He was starting to come up a little bit and catches the knife right here. Thank God it hit bone, so it doesn't go that far in, but it makes a pretty good cut. And that's when he starts scooting backwards, like trying to push her away. And as he turns, he's just throwing things at this point, and that's where he sees the can, throws it at her. The oil comes out, gets all over both of them. He kind of rolls off one side of the bed, according to his story. She's on the other side of the bed. We have what you kind of call an Irish standoff at this point.
So they're just both standing off.
Yeah, he doesn't know what the hell just happened.
Zigging and zagging on each side of the bed.
Right, and they go one side, she goes the other side, and he's thinking, and it reminds me of that Ace Ventura movie.
Oh, yes.
Where he gets hit with the spear, and he's like, He's trying to process, how do we go from what we were doing to you stabbing me? Crazy?
Right.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. So did he pull the knife out or something? Was it just hanging in his chest?
The knife really never stuck in there because it was such a shallow wound, but he does take the knife. In the struggle, he got the knife away from her, so he's holding the knife.
Okay.
And that's why they're kind of doing this Irish standoff back and forth.
So she's just glaring at him from the other side of the bed.
Yeah, and he's trying to figure out what happens next.
Okay.
And that's when she just turns and runs into the bathroom. The bathroom's adjoining the wall. In his head, it was such a deliberate act, she must have more weapons in the bathroom.
Okay.
And that's when he thinks, I'm out. And he just runs out the front door just to get away from her. And that's when he sees our good officer across the street and runs to the officer.
Oh, thank goodness.